Capital News tonight. Presidential campaigns in Zanzibar gain momentum. Tanzania joins other countries in the world in commemorating International Day of Older Persons. And in sports, the national women's under-20 soccer team continues preparations for the under-20 World Cup qualifier against Senegal. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. The presidential candidate in Zanzibar for Chama cha Mapinduzi, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has arrived in South Unguja to address campaign rallies, whereby he pledged to improve social services and infrastructure if he is elected in the October general election.
Another area is on public servants. I will be talking about hard work. That goes in line with benefits. Rights goes in line with responsibility. We will therefore look into public servants' benefits and make sure that benefits are received on time and that work environment is improved, as well as increasing salaries as the economy permits.
Tunapoingia katika vuguvugu la kutafuta uongozi wa dola.
After the campaign, a general election will take place on 28th October this year, so as to get power for CCM to continue to govern Zanzibar. It means that our party must win. Our victory will honor our revolution. We shall forever honor it and celebrate it always. It is our freedom and independence.
Na ushindi wetu unakwenda na mnasaba mapinduzi yetu.
And Zanzibar's presidential candidate from ACT, Wazalendo Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad, has said if elected as president, his government will respect human dignity and rights in order to create a new Zanzibar. He made the pledge at a campaign rally in Mapofu Wingwi area, North Pemba.
By protecting human rights of every citizen. But the African Union has also come up with a contract on citizens and human rights. Tanzania is a member. We will come up with a system where when a baby is born today, he is given a number. When he gets to the age to be issued with an ID card, the same number will be used. If he wants to have a driver's license, the same number will be used. When he wants to deposit money in the bank, the same number will be used. And passport will also use the same number. The system where some are issued with ID cards and others are not will no longer be there.
Na haki za watu. Tanzania ni mwanachama.
Chadema's presidential candidate in Zanzibar, Said Isa Mohammed, has called on presidents to vote him into office on October 28th in order to bring about development in the Isles. He made the pledge at the launch of the party's campaigns at Chanjani grounds in Chake Chake.
This is time to make plans on what we're going to do for Zanzibar, where we want to take Zanzibar. They buy good rice at 700 shillings per kilogram because they produce it themselves. But in Pemba it costs between 2,000 and 2,600 shillings because there is high cost of production. Elect me and my team of members of parliament. We have the ability.
The presidential candidate for the United Republic of Tanzania on the CCM ticket, Dr. John Magufuli, has urged residents of SONGWE region to vote for CCM in the general election later this month so that his government can complete implementing strategy aimed at the region, making the region an agricultural hub. President Magufuli made the pledge in Vwawa and Tunduma towns, a SONGWE region, during campaign rallies.
tutahakikisha tunakuza na kuendeleza zaidi sekta ya kilimo.
We'll ensure we grow and develop further the agricultural sector. We'll also ensure inputs and agricultural equipment, including better quality seeds and fertilizers, pesticides, tractors, are all available and at an affordable cost. In SONGWE region, we have also started an NRIFA zonal center for the purchase of maize that will serve SONGWE and Bear regions. Will sell to be 550 shillings per kilo, which is above market value. We have also started a coffee auction. In the 2019-2020 season, coffee was sold for between 3,400 and 4,400 shillings, which was above the global market value.
Hadi shilingi 4,400 ambapo ilikuwa juu ya bei katika soko la dunia.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Simon Siro, summoned Chadema's presidential candidate for the United Republic of Tanzania, Tundu Lissu, to report to the police station in Kilimanjaro region after he violated campaign procedures.
Matukio kadhaa yanafanyika na viongozi wa Chadema wamekuwa na tabia ya kukaribia.
I've seen a couple of incidences carried out by Chadema party leaders. There is a habit of speaking harshly to police officers on numerous occasions. Tundu Lissu had quarreled with police heads. Yesterday I spoke with his leader, Mbowe, that he should sit and speak with his people about obeying the law. What he is doing, Tanzanians who are wise and patriotic are seeing. The police force has been given the duty to protect people and their property inside the country.
And Tanzania has joined other countries in the world in commemorating International Day of Older Persons, with the government saying it is committed to continue fighting against abuse of elderly people, including preventing killings of elders.
Miaka ya nyuma,
when we used to go for meetings outside the country, they used to ask us how come we are killing our elderly. But regarding this matter, as a government, we've succeeded to a great extent to address the killings of old people. Today we have strong leaders who will not allow the Zanzibar revolution and the independence of Tanganyika to be jeopardized by those who want to break peace in our country. We must remember them because it is they who made it possible for our economy to get to middle income. When we had independence, we were poor, but now we are able to run our own projects.
Tukaweza kutengeneza miradi yetu na tukaigarimia.
More than 400 grade 1 students at Bugarama Primary School in Msalala Council, Kahama District, Shinyanga region take turns studying in classrooms due to a shortage of classrooms, a situation that is affecting performance of teachers and students.
The first grade has 412 students, the second grade 418. So you can see that these 400 students occupy 4 classes, meaning each class has 150 students. This problem of classroom congestion highly affects teaching because there are too many students for teachers to attend, to leading to failure to teach well and mark all their work. Our company pledged to provide 2,000 bags of cement, which we have come to hand over as part of implementation of the government's corporate responsibility law for mining companies.
The Commissioner General of Immigration in the country, Dr. Anna Makakala, has pledged to send a special team to provide citizenship education at Engusero Sambu Ward in Ngorongoro District bordering Kenya so as to resolve immigration challenges facing some of the residents from the ward.
Kuna swala la wahamiaji walowezi. Hao ni watu ambao walihamia miaka mingi sana wakaingia nchi ya Tanzania.
There is an issue of migrants who settled many years ago. Some were hunters and others were livestock keepers and farmers. They stayed here for many years together with their generations because they knew nothing about citizenship. If today you tell him that he is not a Tanzanian, he doesn't understand. There is a program we've started that gives preference to all border areas and those bordering neighboring countries to register migrants who settled in Tanzania many years ago.
Kata ya Kuserosambu tumekuwa tukisema wa Kenya kila siku.
We are the ones who placed beacons when Tanzania gained its independence.
Wenzangu walikamatwa wake kwa waume na watoto.
Men, women and children were arrested. This lady in particular is a real Tanzanian. I'm surprised that they call us Kenyan.
Na huyo mama mwenzangu ni Mtanzania kabisa.
That is all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, women in the Democratic Republic of Congo have called for establishment of an international court so that those who engage in causing turmoil in the country can be tried at the court.
People are suffering and running scared. If the rebels are taken out of the forest, it will help us. It is said that the people who came to help us are refusing to receive us.
And the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture in Uganda, have launched a program aimed at empowering youth economically in order to address the problem of unemployment.
I polish and repair shoes, but they are arresting those doing small businesses.
It is important that we engage and we re-engage the youth, too often shun away from agriculture due to the risk involved.
And President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya is in France on an official visit. Upon arrival at LC Palace, President Kenyatta inspected a guard of honor mounted by French military, after which the two leaders witnessed the signing of 3 bilateral agreements.
We look at the African continent sometimes from a perspective of its natural wealth, the gold, the diamonds, the oil, the gas. But what we tend not to see is what is the true African potential. And the true African potential is our young men and women and the capacity they have to participate with you to build a greater and better world for all of us. We know we have huge problems, for example, with regard to migration, that make people have this feeling or this understanding that all that Africa can contribute is migrants. But you must ask yourself, why do these young men and women risk their lives to cross thousands of miles of land, risk their lives to cross the waters of the Mediterranean? It is in search of opportunity. It is in search of opportunity.
Because I do believe it's extremely important, both for France and Kenya, to have a better knowledge of each other and to see all the opportunities you can find in this country, but as well how our French companies can bring something to your country. Provide our solutions, our innovations, our entrepreneurship, and be part of your success.
That's all for the international news. We'll be back with business news after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now in business news. The government in Lindi region has allocated more than 30,000 acres of land to farmers in order to increase production of cashew nut, whereby improved quality seedlings have already been planted on more than 24,000 acres of land.
I believe after 5 years, things will be so different. Production will be high. We made better use of land by turning it into cashew nut farms. We now have more than 36 hectares. We are ready to help Lindi so that it becomes a leader in cashew nut production by using good seeds as well as proper spacing out of trees and the use of correct pesticides. Livestock keepers from northern zone regions have started selling their livestock at the modern abattoir in Longido, Arusha region, with NMB Bank empowering them with training in order to be more productive.
Nilikuwa nashauri kwamba kama anataka kufanya biashara na wafanyabiashara wetu wa mifugo.
I will advise that if he wants to do business with our livestock entrepreneurs, then he should conduct research on various factories within and outside the country so that they can bring prices that are friendly to these business owners. The problem is not lack of livestock. There are a lot of livestock, and if the price is friendly, even 12 to 16 lorries will come per day. The problem is the price. We sat down with bankers and they agreed that they would be willing to provide loans, so people should go open an account at NMB and work with the bank's managers so that they can get loans to buy livestock and bring them here to be processed.
Sunflower farmers in Babati district, Manyara region, have said they are forced to use poor quality seeds due to shortage of good quality seeds, and that this has contributed to low yields. This has caused them to fail to meet the high demand from sunflower oil processing industries within the country. Mr.
Chikwanza, the biggest problem is in the quality of seeds which we are using. They are the old types of seeds which don't produce oil. So many processors encounter losses as well as farmers. However, by meeting with agricultural stakeholders, we have discovered that the type of seeds being used by farmers are not of good quality.
Sisi kama TCA tumeamua kuunganisha wadau pamoja na taasisi mbalimbali.
We as TCA, we have decided to join stakeholders with various institutions and government authorities with the aim of ensuring that the value chain of sunflower oil grows.
Zetu unakuwa na nguvu na kuipa heshima zao la alizeti.
That is all for the business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And now in sports. Football officials have been urged to utilize the training they receive from the Football Federation in order to develop soccer in the country.
Tumefanikiwa na tunashukuru kwa msaada wa shirikisho.
We thank the Football Federation, who are the patrons of soccer in Tanzania, because this year we have conducted several trainings. Officials have been divided into different categories. We started with the first category, who were the FIFA elite referees. Then there came the second category, which is class 1s and VPL.
Ikaja kategori nyingine kwa ajili ya FDL na SDL, na hii ambayo tulikuwa nayo sasa hivi tulomaliza ilikuwa ni development programs.
The national women's under-20 soccer team is continuing with preparations for the under-20 World Cup qualifier against Senegal, despite not knowing when the game will take place.
We have tried to add other players. This is a national team, and we've tried to look at other players who have different talents and see how we can develop them. We are with 40 players who, at the end of the day, who can enter our national teams.
Lakini mwisho wa siku pia mechi zinapofikia ni lazima tuwe na namba maalum ya wachezaji ambao wanacheza hiyo mechi.
Anthony Davis scored 34 points, James had 25 points, 13 rebounds and 9 assists, and the Los Angeles Lakers rolled past the Miami Heat 116-98. Here's the story.
Battered point guard Goran Dragic left in the second quarter, and a person with knowledge of the situation said he was diagnosed with a torn plantar fascia in his left foot, which obviously jeopardizes his availability for the rest of the finals. And also center Bam Adebayo left in the third quarter after apparently aggravating a left shoulder strain. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope scored 13 points, Danny Green had 11, and Alex Caruso finished with 10 for the Lakers.
And Manchester United have made contact with Barcelona to see if they can sign Ousmane Dembele on loan for the 2020-2021 season.
Entertaining the idea of signing the France international, who has only made 15 league starts for Barcelona since signing from Borussia Dortmund in 2017 on a permanent deal. Barcelona would prefer to sell Dembele to free up funds for the manager Ronald Koeman to initiate a squad rebuild, but release this may be difficult to achieve. The Old Trafford hierarchy turned their attentions to Dembele after Dortmund reiterated they would not listen to any bid lower than 120 million euros for United's number one target Jadon Sancho. United would have to pay Dembele's salary in full should they be able to sign him on loan, and they are open to either a straight loan or a loan with an option to buy.
And ELIUD Kipchoge has rejected suggestions the next generation of game-changing Nike shoes violate the spirit of sport, even though he has conceded they could give him a major advantage in the London Marathon on Sunday.
The world record holder confirmed he will wear the Alpha Fly Next shoes, which resemble platform shoes and are claimed to improve running economy by between 5% and 8% for the first time in an official race. There have been calls for the controversial running shoes to be banned, especially after the Kenyan used them to become the first person to break the 2-hour barrier in an unofficial event in Vienna last October. However, World Athletics has since ruled such shoes are legal provided their stack height does not exceed 40 millimeters and they obey certain other rules. Kipchoge insisted it was time for critics of shoe technology to open their hearts and move on.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.
In Tanzania, we have an amazing array of places we call home. But when it comes to interior designing, in the field to transform your spaces and create more memories. On Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
Diamonds are forever. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might.